All right, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone, and honors and salutations to all you Akim out there that's laboring in the truth and sincerity. This is another, another lesson. I call it the mark of the beast is E's solution. We're speaking about bitch ass E again, all right, which is Esau, of course, to those that don't know. And Esau, according to the Bible, is the so called white man. You can simply read Genesis, the 25th chapter, and the whole book of Obadiah for starters, all right. But anyway, as you see, I got the clip here. It's a clip which I've seen a few brothers speak on this, so I know this is probably not, total new information or whatever, but nonetheless, it's current. It's what they plan on doing, and the reason why I called it the chip or the mark of the beast is E's solution, because we all know, and the elder Tyler Dotby, he's been mentioning it a lot lately, which through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai going back into the 90s, I can honestly say we knew about this back then. Apostle Tahar and Apostle Gabar and Rakad, the late 80s going into the early 90s, them brothers knew, you know what I'm saying? So this is not nothing really new for us. That's why we're able to, it's like it's like first nature, you know what I'm saying? But Elder Taz, he's been speaking about the Hegelian dialectics, if I'm saying the word right. I always have a problem with that word, but you know, which is basically pressure from above, pressure from beneath. So that's why they sat there, and what Esau did is he sat there with as far as with all the legislation, all the different raising up the interest rates and everything. People were catching nothing but hell, suffering, having to work all these other jobs. Right, I'm talking about people that were just average working people. The average working guy had to work more. The middle class or the upper middle class, if you will. There's even different levels within each class. You got the higher class, which you got levels in there. The middle class, there's levels in there. The lower class is levels in there. But the whole purpose of the pressure from above, pressure from beneath, meaning them sitting up there having everybody going crazy as far as working, and then they create all these different false flags and produce these different legislations, such as the Patriot Acts, the name one of them, amongst any other NSD acts and all these different executive orders that they have where they could invoke basically martial law and repossess any of your so-called belongings, because you never really own nothing in the society, because everything is controlled by the devil on this earth. You see, because Job 9:24 tells you the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, just like you see this devil, which Bill Gates is and I believe uh, Bill Gates Bill Gates goes back to the so-called Germans, which when you read in the scriptures, they're known as teaming. I got to check it out again. I know Donald Trump, Donald Trump, which his name Trump, as you brothers probably know, means drum, right? Drumpf. That's really they changed it to Trump, but he's a German, and a lot of these devils they like to hide their origin or whatever. But you know that's why they're in the positions that they're in, because they were known as the wise men amongst Edom. Edom, which is the so-called right, the nation or the people of Esau, which is the nation of these so-called white people that they come from, going back into the Bible. Amongst them, they were known as the wise men, which, like the German, all the scientists, most of the scientists that were being kidnapped were, so-called Jews that went back to Germany, scientists, from Austria and other parts that was under that German Reich. But anyway, going into this article, because see this is pretty much a matter of fact. Before I start this, let me start it off with a scripture, because see these things, and we're just watching it unfold in real time, man. This is all prophetic, and this it's gonna lead with everything that's happening right now, with them, and and they telling you it's to the point where they not at one point they would hide stuff. I mean, they ain't telling you everything, of course, but they playing around with people. You got Trump. Trump knew damn well he wasn't opening no government back. So we're gonna open the government back for Easter. They knew damn well they wasn't opening the government for no Easter, man. But what he did is he had people on board thinking that actually, okay, yeah, things are getting better. See, this is nothing. You got people talking all this misinformation and everything. But this is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. All right. And that's speaking about the elites, the so-called white man. See, all these other nations, the elite of China, they're trying to expose the president of China, Lee, Lee, whatever the hell his name is, because he killed, and they're bodying people, man. They're straight up bodying people. And Esau got things. There's so much smoking. Everybody don't know what to believe. Is it a 5G? Is it a real pandemic? Or are people really dying? Man, Esau, the elites are sitting back, just flooding y'all with everything, man. You know, because people are really dying. There's really crisis actors. They hyping it up. Their thing is all centered around numbers. All right, they're centered around numbers. Remember, that's why they got the which I didn't get to finish watching it, but the brother from South Carolina, but not the Zotba, he was going to I was watching some of this video about the census, and yeah, and they still talking in the middle of all this shit. They still talking about a national census, because Esau's thing is a thing of numbering. Because remember, when you go back to King David in the scriptures, the Most High got mad at King David for numbering his people. King David was going to do a census. He told, I believe it was Joab, that, hey, scriptures say great men are not always wise. He's still the man after the Lord's heart, but he went off. And he repented to it at the same time. This devil don't repent. If he get caught doing something wicked, he goes back and just do something even more wicked. You know what I'm saying? That's how Esau, the so-called white man, operates. But nonetheless, that's why they do this thing with the census. They want to count how many people, and they always do a thing. And at one point where it become criminal, it could be a crime if you don't report the number of people you have in your household. It'll become a crime, and you could get locked up, put in a concentration camp. And don't think that there's not people in concentration camps, man. And see, and this thing is coming down to the wire. All right, you got everything circling the drain, gradually shutting down. To one day it's gonna be abruptly, just like over there in over there in India, where they just, I think it was they gave them like a 3-hour notice. They quarantined everybody was to be in their houses, not in no churches and everything, and they was beating Elamites that was hiding out in mosques and stuff. Hey, man, shit is real, man. Shit is real. But again, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and we still waiting, because we ain't out of here yet. Still a whole lot more things to happen, but there ain't too much more things to happen. When I don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like we gotta go back into slavery again, and Esau's gonna take us down, we're gonna take him down, and he's gonna take us back. I ain't saying like that, because this is the end, this is the last days. But there's certain more prophecies that gotta happen, and this is speaking about the chip. It's one of the main things, and this is a thing that they all were meeting on with these meetings. So that's why people are talking about China. China been in the midst of it, and they're saying that it's their fault for holding back all this information, bringing it back to that. And when they had a whistleblower, a Moabite doctor or whatever, they basically they quieted his voice. And I remember, like, maybe I think it's been about a week, and all of a sudden he ended up dying from the coronavirus. Not that he just contracted it, but he died from it. And remember, what was it, the past few years, 4 or 5 years, right, since they really been banking on this coronavirus and these other viruses, because there's other viruses and other forms of it, mutated forms of it. But remember, they were killing the holistic doctors. A lot of I forget if it was, I don't know, I'll rounded off number to almost 100 in the past 4 or 5 years. 100 holistic doctors were turned up. They murdered them, died, disappeared, like by just weird, where you knew that now they took them out. It was a witch hunt on them, But now the witch hunt is on the everyday people, you citizens, man. So it says, woe unto them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Again, like I quoted earlier, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, meaning the rulership of this place. So that's why they're able to play around with legislation, make laws that they're not going to follow, but you better follow them. Come up with different type of diseases. And look, Esau's the disease itself, man. That's, you know what I'm saying? He's the destroyer of the world. That's why he's the destroyer of this world. He destroyed this world, man. I mean, now the true destroyer is Yahweh Shai. Don't get it twisted. Yahweh Shai. All right? And he's going to, because Esau is really an imposter. Really, let's put it that way. Esau is really an imposter. He's not really, because the real destroyer of worlds is Yahweh Shai. That's why Yahweh Shai in Revelations, the 19th chapter, it said he had a head with many crowns on it. The crowns of the different worlds or the different nations that he's about to take down on his second coming, which we're approaching that day now. You understand? So it says, verse 2, it said, and they covet fields and take them by violence. Who's been doing that? All right? The so-called white men, the United States government, the army. And then even was another thing that happens too, because we know about these Edomites for they're known for breaking their whatever treaties that they make. That's why it was nothing for Trump to sit there and lie. Say, look, we're gonna get these people back to work. We're gonna open up by Easter or whatever. And okay, I'm gonna take the advice. I guess more people, because again, keep that in mind. Esau deal with the numbers. They want to actually know how many people are on the earth, because it goes back to the Georgia Guidestone. These are not just, because see now, at one time, everybody thought it was conspiracy theory. And, and fuck everybody, man. You understand? I don't need nobody to say, you know what, man, you were right. You were right. Now, if you're sincere, if you have the elect, then do what you're supposed to do. Get yourself right spiritually, mentally, man. All right? Because this world is toast, man. Stop getting caught up into, you still think it's an American dream? Huh? Are you stupid enough to still think things are going to return back to normal life? You're going to, send your kids off to college still? You still think that dumb shit? For years, we was telling you people, you weren't dealing with reality, but you looked at us like we were, bugged out or something. You see? It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence. And yeah, what I was going to say too, mention, you got it's a land over there I think it's in Dakota, where what's the tribe? I can't think of the tribe right now. Gadites, but they just dismissed or revoked their rights to their land. Cause here it is for like about 300 years. They wouldn't give them rights to the land that they took violently, right? And one of there was a writer that noted that every time when Esau would break different treaties they would just start different civil wars or certain things, and it washes under the rug, because that's what this devil does. He likes, like I said, he hides wickedness with wickedness, man. He hides wickedness with violence. Being a bully, being a spoiled fucking brat. But it says they covet fields and take them by violence. And so now it's to the point where, because they knew that there wasn't no checkpoints or whatever, but now watch all these checkpoints getting placed. And they're going to start with the major cities, of course. It says, in houses, and take them away. And you can see there's reports of it already, but they're going to actually be going into people's houses saying, we got to quarantine you or whatever, especially if your house is in, just like when they're doing infrastructure in, right? When they want to build a new highway or casino, and if your property is in the way of that land that they want, what they're going to do is, like the scripture said, they covet field and take them by violence in houses. They might make you an offer you can't refuse. They might say, well, look, yeah, the land is worth $2.5 million, but we'll give you $400,000. Like, get the fuck out of here. I could sell it for $4.5 million. Then they'll sit there and wait on. They'll get, they might try to sit there and bring you to court, and they'll stall you out, because that's how Esau plays in this court system. The long game, as far as Like they figure they'll keep sending you back and forth to court and keep continuing it until your money run out. 'Cause that's what happens with a lot of these corporations. That's why a lot of them, they'll do certain things that is detrimental or take the risk of experimenting certain products that they know will kill people, but they know that they'll, in court, nobody has enough money to keep going to court to fight them. And eventually they'll give in, either settle or they forfeit, you know what I'm saying? They'll lose by default and the case gets thrown out. So same thing with these devils. They'll do that and they'll take and to the point where they either make you cave in to their offer, and they might even make it a less offer just cause out of spite, or they just go straight up and take your land from you. You see? So they can make that highway, which the highways that are made go back to who? The international banking firm. So this whole thing is connected back to these devils, man. But it's just the average person that doesn't know how to connect the dots. All right, so it says, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house. What does it mean to oppress a man in his house? Meaning what? Now they could tell you, look, you got to stay in your house. But then we gonna come in there and do a search like what they're doing over there in Rhode Island. And when you hear about something happening in one place, don't think it won't happen in another. All right? They do. They start certain places and they try it out, see the feedback, and then they go and regroup it and come back and do it in other places. So by them going up into Rhode Island, kicking in people's doors, looking to see if anybody came from New York in the name of quarantine and making people safe, and they got these people are so fucking stupid, man. They're stupid. These people are a bunch of idiots, and I laugh at them, and I don't feel sorry for them. You go to certain places, you go to buy some pizza or some shit. You see a stupid dumbass in there, cooking with a damn hospital mask on and gloves, and then they're in the store, they want you to stand away from each other. And they even brought out about that 6 feet shit is bullshit, even though they try to come and say, well, no, that's not true. But one doctor, she said, look, them shits could spread 26, 27. So the way the guy rebutted, he said, for that to happen, you have to do a big achoo, right? He said, that's the only way that'll happen. But shit, so many people are scared to cough or sneeze. They're holding it, and eventually what you think they're going to do? So anyway, Esau with his fucking bullshit, man. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil from which you should not remove your necks, neither should you go haughtily, for this time is evil. So now, going back to the article, all right, because Bill Gates is devil, man. All right. And he's something else. And a lot of people sit there and he did a what they call a Reddit, which I think is this icon that you see in the bottom there. He did supposedly it was him, whether it was or not, it doesn't make a difference. But he did, I believe it was probably him. He did an open forum, a Q&A, right, on his forum concerning about 2 weeks ago about this virus. So bear with me, 'cause I don't know how to make this thing on the side disappear. But as you seen the devil said, Microsoft, Bill Gates will launch human implantable capsules that have digital certificates which can show who has been tested for the coronavirus and who has been vaccinated against it. You see? So this was in the Q&A where he said that the human implantable capsule is talking about what? That's talking about the chip, man. And matter of fact, before I go on in the article, because it's about the scriptures anyway, like we've been telling you for the longest, all right, in the book of Revelations, chapter 13. And this is what a lot of people used to mock us for and everything. But now you can't mock us, man. This is Revelations 13 and 14. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do, because why? The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So yeah, these devils, they have power to sit there and destroy and bomb different countries and take over lands. It said, which had power to do in the sight of the beast being NATO, right? Which is the war machine, if you will. It says, saying to them that dwell on the earth, meaning what? They enforce these different laws. So that's why you got who, okay? the World Health Organization and other different groups like this, who's going to enforce and back their legislation? If they say something, they're going to send in the beast to come. If they say, look, this is the vaccine, which that's what we're going to read in the article with Bill Gates and them, they're going to peddle. That's something that they want to peddle, right? Whether they stick to it or not, they at this point, they got people right where they want them. Like Apostle Ramla was saying, man, this very well may be the one that they're going to use, because we know that they don't like to let no crisis go to waste. That's amongst with the elites. So they like to use these crises as a perfect time to slip in their agenda, and the same time of killing people and sacrificing people. Because again, it is a thing of numbers with these devils. But anyway, it says, lost one place, Salakia, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. Because, in which, even though NATO's the beast, the mouthpiece of NATO is America, all right? And America is, when it said, which had a wound by a sword and did live, meaning going back to the pagan Roman Empire, all right? Because then this is the same thing that happened back then, man. The same thing that they did back then. A lot of scholars, how was Rome destroyed and this, that, and the third. Because you had, and the Lord spoke of this back then too. During the time of, when the Lord was in, pardon me, when Yahweh Shai came on the scene, when the Lord was on the scene, who was in power? The same beast that's in power right now. You see? They were in power during the time of Yahweh Shai. So it said what? Which had the wound by a sword and did live. And that's why Yahweh Shai, our Lord, said that what? The kingdom of heaven suffereth violence unto this day, because unto that day there was heavy taxations that was going on against the nation of Israel under the Roman Empire. All right? And that's why we were paying tributaries. All right? That's why you see Joseph and the rest of, when you read in the Gospels, we were going to pay taxes and everything. Just like right now, everybody's being taxed the hell up. In which taxes are unconstitutional, and they were supposed to make everything even for everybody. Ain't nobody, that ain't the case, man. Here it is, they promising, giving you some measly $1,500, $1,200, and then they're being coy with it, which I knew already. They're saying, if you're child support, we're gonna take your. Here to show you how cruel these people are. With all that, even we know that child support is all bullshit, and that proves it too. But here it is, okay, if this is a real crisis in the time, why would you be petty to sit there and make people suffer, over stuff, over nonsense? You understand? Which they showing you that they could end poverty or whatever they wanted to anyway. All right? Showing you this is all bullshit, man. But reading on Salakia, it said, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right? It said, and he causeth all, now listen up, he causeth all, both small and great. Now, like I was talking to Apostle Ramlab, he brought out a good point. It didn't say small in the middle or great. It says small or great, because why? The middle class is gone. There's no more middle class. No more people that's doing okay. Average working man, blue collar. There's no more of that. Everybody is struggling now. All right, unless you're of the elite. You see? So it said he causes both small and great, rich and poor. It's either you're rich or it's you're poor. Free and bond. See? Because why? And that's crazy, because now, man, these prophecies is playing out. Now they got to release people from prison. They talking about releasing people that might have had bodies that did this, did that, or they got asthma, so they more susceptible for the corona, And you don't know what the hell they did to these people that they releasing, if they injected them with some stuff, if they got chips, they gonna be use them as spies, and you know what I'm saying, to break up. Because, and it's crazy. I got a clip from, I don't know if I'll get a chance to play it, But or maybe I might even come and do another part to this because there's a lot of information that goes in on this. But in these times, just like they show you in the movie They Live, you know, because there's people that are woke that see these things, so and they know that. So what they do is they get a someone to go under. They always get a mole. What's the word I'm looking for? A spy, for the lack of, I can't think of the other word, to go undercover, you know, and find out who's meeting with who, and you know what I'm saying. Which, hey, our thing is we've been on Front Street anyway, man. We trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So devil, you do what the fuck you got to do. We've been ready to die for this truth, man. All right, this ain't our world. This ain't our world anyway. You know what I'm saying? This ain't our world anyway. Our world is coming, man. And we know we're going to get vengeance and payback on you fucking devils, man. The Lord is going to grant us that, man. That's a promise. The Most High, that's a promise. We ain't just telling you. We ain't threatening you or nothing. It's a promise. We're going to have you back in slavery, man. It's a promise. We're going to pay you back for all the lynching, the robbing, the murdering, even the wickedness that you're doing now, man. With your, and I believe that they're doing that. They've been doing the shit with the 5G, you know, and tons of other things, man. The chemtrails and everything, man. They tell you in Habakkuk that the spirit that's in this devil is not right, man. So it says, he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand. And that's what this devil Bill Gates is talking about, man. All right? Or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell. And it's going to come to the point. And that's why I said, even it was a Christian movie, which is funny. They made a movie called The Mark of the Beast Unleashed. And they had some good points, but it was bullshit, because then they start talking that sweet Jesus bullshit. All right? But they had some great points in it about how they plan on doing the program. And just like they showed you in what's that movie with Stallone and Wesley, Simon Phoenix, Demolition Man, and Sandra Bullock, bitch, I think she was in it too. And they was promoting that social distancing, you know. It's crazy, man, how they put all these things, predictive programming, you know, in these movies, and now we're seeing it actually play out. But it's spiritual, because it's all through the prophecy. So no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, that received that chip. So you're going to have to take that chip to keep functioning it. That's why a year and two ago, they started making different stores out in certain places in Seattle, I think it was, Washington, and Colorado, and that's crazy. Those are the first places where the coronavirus and stuff hit. But they started making these different supermarkets. They started making them where you had to have the chip to walk in and walk out with your stuff. So, you know, hey, man, they've been playing, but the Most High, they've been planning this thing, but the Lord has put the spirit on them to do these things. Remember, they working for the Most High on the left-hand side. It says, say, he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which is the 666. And so now, real quick, this is the judgment. It says, Revelation 16, goes straight to the point. Well, I'll read from the top. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth, which is going into the nuclear destruction overall. All right. It said, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. All right. So meaning the Most High brought death upon them, and a grievous sore. Because why? You're not supposed to be, you know, you're not supposed to be you wasn't supposed to be partaking in that chip. It says, in the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of water, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the water say, thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and was and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. So the Lord is going to come back and judge this, man. The Most High ain't going to keep letting Esau roll out all this bullshit, man. And we need the Most High. What this devil did, and you understand the scriptures more and more, what Yahweh Shai said in Matthew, the 24th chapter, that if the days are not shortened, no flesh shall be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, because we see Esau is going crazy. He's going bonkers out there, man. It says, for they have shed the blood of saints and prophets. Who's that speaking about? That's speaking about the Israelites, the real Israelites, man. All right, and thou has given them blood to drink, meaning pay them back. Death and destruction is coming for them. Now they're going to be the target, for they are worthy. All right, and matter of fact, I'm gonna get to the article, real quick. 14 and Revelations 14:9. And the third angel followed him, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in the forehead or in his hand. So if you get simple, if you get weak, if you cave in, all right, and just say, fuck it, go ahead and chip me up. I'm not talking about, because they say Esau got stuff where he could shoot some or whatever you sleep. No, you got to willingly accept it. You got to take it and receive it. So if you sit there and get weak and say, hey, man, I had to, or, what was I going to do? The Most High, forgive me. I prayed to God to forgive me. I had, fuck it, I'm going to die anyway, right? You didn't have no integrity, no resolve. You weren't faithful to the end. It said the same, verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, meaning straight, no chaser, man. The cup of his indignation, which is those nuclear missiles, man. You all gonna burn, man. All right? So that's what it said. He that saved his life shall lose it. You see? And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. Yeah. In the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. Because why? When the presence, meaning when the Lord comes back, when the chariots are there, everybody's gonna be here. America's gonna be a big campfire, bonfire, as they like to call it, right? You see? But now, I'll just touch a little bit more on this article and wrap it up. It says the 64-year-old tech mogul and currently the second richest person in the world revealed this yesterday during the Read It, Ask Me Anything session while answering questions on the COVID-19 pandemic. Gates was responding to a question on how business will be able to operate while maintaining social distancing, which is bullshit, and said that eventually we will have some digital certificates to show who has recovered or been tested recently, or when we have a vaccine, who has received it. See? To keep account. So that's why, again, it's a thing of numbers. They want to know how many people are still alive, how many people are in this house, how many people are in this company. All right? Who doesn't have a chip? Bring them up here. All right? We're going to isolate them here. We're going to put them on the guillotine, make public examples, scare people, and make people know that they better take the market. And it's a reason why the spirit was on Apostle Tahar heavy about it. And again, we knew that they were going to do these things, man. Now, every single, step that, we're learning it as we go. But nonetheless, we knew that they were going to do this thing with the martial law and everything. And we're seeing how and it's, as it looks, they want to use this one to really, because this is a good one. They got everybody where they want them right now. So it's all good right now. You see? So it says, let's see, where was it? It says, eventually, this is what Bill Gates said. Eventually, we will have Bombarats. Salaki, brothers. Thing is sensitive. It says, eventually we will have some digital certificates to show who has recovered or been tested recently, or when we have a vaccine who has received it. The digital certificates Gates was referring to are human implantable quantum dot tattoos. They got all kind of names for them that the researchers at MIT and which MIT, I believe that's in Mass, which a lot of them devils got a lot of their licensing from there. The so-called scientists and everything, people that work at the CDC and all that. But it says in Rice University are working, as a way to hold vaccination records. See, it was, and they're gonna make it mandatory. And it's fucked up because here it is, you healthy, and then Esau Cup tries to cover all things. Well, yeah, you could be an asymptom carrier or whatever they call it, like someone who doesn't show no signs, but you could make other people sick, like they showed you in Contagion with the little Jake, where he wasn't. I mean, Containment. Pardon me, the series Containment. He wasn't immune. They thought that he had the cure, right? So they had him on a blood machine, draining his blood. Esau's a fucking vampire, man. He's still draining people's blood. And then to show you that the bullshit is, you had this one player, Marcus Smart for the Celtics. He had the virus or whatever. So I guess now he don't have it, and they taking his blood and using it for This thing is scripted, man. Cuomo, the brother Cuomo, that one that be on CNN, he was sitting there talking all that, and he's a damn actor. He's acting like he's really about it, and he's so against what's going on, and he's all in the forefront and everything, and and then he was sick one minute, but he was good, and now all of a sudden he got it. He's like so they, and you see him just putting an act, man. He's putting on an act, putting on an act like this is like a version of The Godfather or something like that, But now he's gonna be like one of the faces for, that's what they do. They got faces for coronavirus. Look, people, this is serious, man. You don't want to go through this. Hey, what about slavery? What about all of the different abortions that happen? Like brothers been saying, and even other people saying, where's the outrage for all the abortion clinics should be shut down? It's an alarming rate of abortion going on. What about all the people dying from cancer? What about the So that's why Esau wants to fan this thing, because they know they got to quell those numbers. And it's a thing about numbers, man. Trust me when I tell you, with the elites. But anyway, it says they're working on these quantum dot tattoos after Bill Gates approached them about solving the problem of identifying those who have not yet been vaccinated. See? So that way you'll stick out like a sore thumb, And if you don't take the chip, then they're going to say, well, we can't, So, hey, man, it's coming down to the wire. I mean, it's beautiful. Hey, our thing is, fuck it, man. If I got to die, I've been ready to die, man. Through the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shai, I know where I'm going, man. All of us know. We all know where we're going. Brothers that are in the truth. You understand? And at the end of the day, the Most High going to bring us right back. It's not like in the ancient world where when they killed the prophets and, they had to keep coming back or whatever, like it was thousands of years that had to pass. We had to go to slavery. We had to go through. Nah, those days are over, man. Yahweh Shai is returning. He's coming, you see? And it said the dead in the Lord shall rise first. So, which in a sense, they know that too. But whatever, we built for whatever it is, however Esau want to do it, man. We trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai overall. And yeah, it's going to get crazier. Yeah, it's going to be people that you might know, close ones or whatever, that's going to get affected. But, affected. And it's not just by the coronavirus. I'm talking about this onslaught that's coming. The race riots, the famine. There's a whole lot of things that are coming, man. That's why, and even they're telling you about this virus. This ain't even the worst of it, But people are bugging out, man. People are really losing their fucking mind, man. You got people jumping on people. If you look like you look sick, basically you got to go out in the public and try your best not to look. You can't have a little cough, man. Can't have sniffles. But anyway, man, the spirit get on me to do another part to it. I will, because there's a lot of information. Like I said, this is based off of Q&A from Bill Gates from 2 weeks ago, showing you that they want to use the what do you call it, the cure, as a way to bring in the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. All right, so with that, I hope brothers will edify. All praises go to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and I say shalom.